Hey there, legendary souls. Welcome back to Unconventional Counseling. Today we're going to talk about something that feels maybe a bit more sensitive. Maybe. Maybe multiple things that we tend to talk about feel a bit sensitive. You'll let me know. We're going to talk about addiction this week, today, because the Piscean energy in its shadow is very much connected to addiction. So every sign, every archetype has its duality. On a shadow element, it could be addiction for Pisces, because there's a desire to escape how much stimuli there is, how much oppression and suffering there is, and just how deeply, when we're fully connected to ourselves, how deeply we feel it all. So there's a desire to escape it through things, through people, through sex, through drugs and substances, through TV, through working out, through choose the thing. Anything can become an addiction. Through food, you know. You know what yours is. You know what your vice is. You know what the thing is that you choose for comfort that doesn't typically make you feel better the next day or the next week. That's what I'm talking about when I say addiction. I'm not saying that eating a certain amount or smoking weed or drinking alcohol or anything in that nature is automatically addictive. I'm not the one who's your therapist in this moment. I'm just letting you know. What am I letting you know? Spirit help. I'm just letting you know anything that we do in excess for us and anything that we do to escape how we feel, to escape the present moment, is addictive. Our phones, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, doom scrolling, all of that. Anything we do to escape where we're at, to try not to feel anything, tends to be an addiction. Anything we end up doing compulsively, and it feels like we don't really have a choice. And it doesn't make us feel better in the long term. Future you has regrets. It's addiction, baby. It's addiction, beloved. It's addiction. Whatever it is, sex, masturbation, people pleasing, codependency, love, right? Like attachment to other people. Whatever it is, buying shit, getting in all the credit card debt, even self-improvement can be addictive. Anything. It's not just the things we deem healthy or unhealthy. Anything that feels like it takes you over is likely the thing that is standing in the way of where you want to go right now. Anything that you've run into wall after wall after wall with the same thing, and you're like, why? Why does this keep happening? Why do I feel like I can't break free? Why do I feel like I can't break free? You're just at a particular point in this particular journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over years and years and years, because Spirit doesn't want us to, Spirit wants us to be examples in our journey and in our lives. So if you go through something that everybody goes through, like having an addiction, trying not to feel your feelings, and you get to a place where you can acknowledge that you're having a hard time feeling your feelings, you get to a place where you can be vulnerable, you get to a place where you have periods where you choose something different than the thing you've been addicted to. You have periods where you consciously choose the thing you've been addicted to, and you reflect on how it made you feel. You try to be kind to yourself in the process. You practice that. You let yourself know, you know what? Yes, I have this intention for change. Yes, I have this intention for a shift. I'm going to receive support and help. You find people and places that can support you and help you, and then you commit to that process, because that also isn't overnight. And then you also go the route of going at it alone, because we have to do all of it. We have to do things with people, and we have to also do it alone on the same journey at times. Not all at the same time sometimes, but sometimes, your journey is, you are where you are. You go through all of that over years and years and years. You go through the times of being frustrated with yourself. You go through the times of feeling celebratory. You become more whole in the process. So then when you tell your story, or even just when people look at you, when people experience you in relationship, when people work with you, they will be transformed by your story, whether you tell your story explicitly or not. And that is the revolution that is not televised, radiating, instead of it always having to be a one-to-one interaction. Well, like the missionaries, back in the day, probably still today, you're gonna go knock on the door and say, "Have you heard about the good news?" You don't know what people have heard of. You don't know how people are living. You don't know how people are loving. You're making a lot of assumptions. And you're bringing a rhetoric that is often very violent and is steeped in control. So to do this a different way, it centers you, your journey. It lasts a long ass time, longer than you fucking want it to. And you keep committing, and you keep finding yourself, and you keep loving yourself through. When you have your breakthroughs and you become more yourself, more whole, you could touch, I don't know, we don't even have to put a number on it. You could touch a limitless number of people. You could raise the vibration of where you live, where you are, just because you focused on your journey and your healing. Sky's the limit. It's probably even beyond the sky's the limit. The divine is limitless and ever expanding. The universe is ever expanding, as are you. So wherever you are in terms of the cycle or the pattern or the journey of addiction, because we all are addicted to some shit, or we all have been addicted to some shit. And we gotta stop lying about that. We gotta stop pretending that we're all okay. We're not okay. We're not okay. We haven't been okay for a long ass time. It's time to just start telling the truth about that. And one of the ways that we've coped is through being addicted to something or some things or some ones. Anything that you choose over you is an addiction. Back the fuck up off of it, and back the fuck up off of you. Be kind to yourself. You're in a journey. You're in a journey, and it's divinely orchestrated, because you got shit to do out here, legendary soul. And in the divine's timing, with Piscean timing, it's gonna rock the whole world. You're gonna be the change that you want to see. Keep focusing in on you, and be sweet to yourself in the process whenever you can, because you deserve it, boo. We're gonna pause this reading here, and I'll catch y'all in the future. Bye.